Welcome back to an all-new season of Terrier Nation. I'm Erin O'Donnell.
And I'm Chris Picher. And Erin, the field hockey season is about halfway done, and they've had a great first half of the season, and they're really striving into the second half, and they've got a lot of great things to look forward to, potentially postseason play.
That's right, Chris. The Terriers are currently ranked in the top 20 yet again. Terrier Nation caught up with the coaching staff of the Terriers, who placed a very strong emphasis on the recruiting of international players. Let's check it out.
Coach Paul, thanks for joining us today. I was just wondering, how does the process start? How does a Sophie Laredo or a Rachel and how does that first initial communication kind of happen?
Well, I think they have two different scenarios. I contacted Rachel. She was on the New Zealand under-18 team, and her credentials were really excellent. Sophie is representative of another group of internationals who initiate the contact with us first.
I was the one who contacted Tracy. I was looking into coming here. No one really had done that before that I had like my friends at home. So I was the one who reached out and ended up talking to her kind of late to say like recruitment wise. It ended up being like late spring semester that I decided to come here.
Sophie had a video, and just taking one look at the video, I knew that I had to show Sally and Shooter that this is a kid's going to be magical on the field. Internationally, players start playing when they're 5, 6, 7 years old. They usually come from families that have played field hockey. Traditionally, sometimes even their parents and grandparents are still playing field hockey because there's such a strong club system. They're from everywhere else in the world. It's a man's game. Men play it. Over here, it's just females. So the girls have had so much more experience and also so much a wider perspective on hockey. So I think that one of the appeals of having the international players is their different styles of play. Sophie from Argentina has skills and very fiery and passionate on the field. That's very Argentinian style. Rachel has a very New Zealand style of attack, attack, attack. That's the type of play that New Zealanders play. We've got Hester on our team. The Dutch are very skill-based, methodical in their build-up. So bringing in players from different countries brings in different cultural aspects of hockey and really broadens our team as well.
I'm here now with Terrier Nation's field hockey analyst, Alex Smith. Alex, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be on.
Alex, the Terriers are looking like they're going to make it to the tournament yet again this season. What do you think has contributed to the continued success of the team?
Yeah, well, I think you really got to credit Coach Starr. She's in her 35th year now and did a pretty great job complementing the pieces she already had. Terriers did make it to that tournament last year, so didn't have that much work to do. Keeper Cami Jensen has filled in nicely. She's pretty much the only newcomer to the starting lineup.
And as we already know, Alex, the international players have played a pivotal role to the team's success. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yeah, whether you're looking on the roster or in the stat sheets, they're pretty much dominating. You've got the two senior captains, Rachel Cole from New Zealand and Sophie Laredo, the Argentine. They're not even leading the Terriers in points. That would be Bea Alteriba from Spain, as well as Hester Vanderlaan from Amsterdam. So doesn't matter where you're looking, those international players really providing the leadership.
And finally, what do you expect to see from the Terriers for the rest of the season? What are your predictions?
I don't think these Terriers will be satisfied with anything less than a Patriot League title and as well as a postseason Patriot League tournament victory. They're ranked number 17 right now, and they'll hope that that will be enough to qualify them for the national tournament.
All right, Alex Smith, thank you so much for being here. Chris, you heard it here first. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Erin. Yeah, the field hockey team really has had a great start to the season. And speaking of another hockey team that's starting up their 2015-2016 campaign, the BU men's hockey team is ranked 3rd in the country, and they're looking to make a run back to the Final Four this year. The season is just about to start up, and we went out to ComAv to check in with our students to see what they think about the upcoming season.
Hi guys, we're here on ComAv in front of the George Sherman Union to talk to our fellow Terriers on their thoughts of the upcoming hockey season. The Terriers' home opener is this weekend against Wisconsin.
I'm excited. I hope they can repeat from last year what they did, their success, but without Eichel, I don't think they're going to be able to, but I'm hopeful.
Are you going to go to Saturday's home opener?
Probably not, but I'll be rooting for them.
I think the hockey season is going to go excellent. I mean, BU is the best in the league, and we're going to dominate.
I think the same thing. I know we won the national championship last year, so probably a great season this year.
Are you guys going to go to a lot of the games?
Every single one.
I'm so hyped because I hear we're one of the best hockey teams in the nation, so I'm really excited. I know that we have tons of school spirit, especially with regards to hockey, so.
I'm really excited for the season. I think we have a good team out there. I'm going to the game tomorrow, and I think it's going to be a good time.
Thank you, Terriers, for your valuable insight. I'm here now with our very own hockey analyst, Chris Picher. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
So, Chris, coming off a very, very heartbreaking loss in the national championship last year, how do you think the Terriers need a rebound this season?
Yeah, really a crushing defeat for BU. Going into the national championship game against Providence last season, they were 19-0 when leading after 2 periods, and the only loss of the season, of course, coming in the national championship game in very dramatic fashion. So I think getting over that, the beginning of the offseason, in talking to Coach David Quinn during the offseason, he said it was tough the first month or so. But now that they've started the 2015-2016 campaign, the team's extremely focused. And obviously they lose some top-end talent with Jack Eichel and Evan Rodriguez and Matt O'Connor in net. There are going to be some holes to fill. So the beginning of the season is going to be a little bit of patchwork. They have a very strong freshman class coming in that did really well against Acadia in the first preseason game. And they're ranked 3rd in the country this season. So expectations, once again, are high on ComAb for BU.
Talk to us a little bit more about the incoming freshman class. What can we expect to see out of them? Well,
the freshman class, they were a little bit, we didn't know necessarily what we were going to get out of them. But this past weekend against Acadia in the scrimmage, they really were terrific. They recorded for 3 of the 4 goals. Freshman Jacob Carl Forsback had 2 of the 4 goals, including a very, very nice shootout goal. And his talent is someone that's a little bit unexpected. He's the second-line center right now, so he has high expectations all of a sudden. And Charlie McAvoy was in the first defensive pairing with Captain Matt Grzelcyk injured, and he looks very, very solid in the defensive end and is very comfortable moving up in the play. So he's going to be a guy that is going to be an X factor for this team, both defensively and offensively.
All right, Chris, very interesting goalie situation going on right now. Talk to us a little bit more about the fight for the starting goalie position.
Yeah, it's very interesting because Sean McGuire, who's a senior, wasn't on the team last year due to concussion symptoms. And the backup goaltender last year, Connor Lecouve, technically has a little bit more experience, and he's only a sophomore. So it's an interesting situation. Lecouve started the preseason game. A lot of people in the BU hockey community think that Sean McGuire will be the starter just because he's had a little bit better statistics over the course of his career while at BU. But my guess is we're going to see a little bit of a timeshare throughout the beginning of the season, and we're going to, I think Coach Quinn's ultimately going to go with the guy that's playing the best.
All right, finally, Chris, what are your predictions for the rest of the season?
I think that, as we said, the start of the season is going to be a lot of patchwork. Coach Quinn's going to have to change up the lines a lot. He doesn't necessarily know what he can expect out of these freshmen. But I think once we get into the second half of the season, this team's going to be in the same form or close to it that they will last year. It's going to be a different team as they're much more defensive-oriented and they don't have that offensive star power. But I think at the end of the day, we should expect them to make the tournament and potentially make a run like they did last season.
All right, Chris Picher, thank you very much for joining us. Well, that does it for this episode of Terrier Nation. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We'll see you next time.